All right, we are live. What's up, guys? We are here today with Kolton Krottinger. I always struggle to say the last name. I don't know why. I just do.
You did great. You did great. So
There's
many
too many
people butcher
k-k-k's
it.
in there.
Yeah. My middle name starts with a G.
Yeah, hey, that works.
In case anyone's wondering.
So this is episode number 6 of Trent Talks. I'm super excited to have Kolton on. We're out in the country. He's on a hot spot right now, so we're hoping everything stays smooth. So bear with us. If he goes down, we'll get him right back in here. But Kolton is he's a self-proclaimed. I like this. I love this title. He's a guerrilla marketing expert, not just a traditional marketer, but he is really about creating movements, about creating a passion in the community behind what you do. So that being said, I want to talk a little bit about your background, kind of. You and I know some of this, but kind of how you got into this, what the struggles you've had, kind of building up to where you said, all right, now I have my business, if you will.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So I'm 29 years old. I'm a Navy vet. I got out in 2013. And I actually, thank you. I actually, I had all these hopes and dreams, and I saved up $10,000 to buy a franchise, and it ended up being a big scam. And then I actually ended up in a homeless shelter there in Pensacola, Florida. And then that's where I started a private military company and stuff like that. And since then I've started, 34 different businesses and ups and downs. And then
I did not know that number.
Yeah. 34 LLCs.
Wow.
At the end of the day, I ended up having to file Chapter 7 bankruptcy, ended up homeless again. And then that's when I stumbled onto ClickFunnels. And this was like, I guess, we started talking, I guess, as soon as I got into ClickFunnels, and I was just I was picking your brain, and you were giving me advice and mentorship whenever I was first getting started in the game here. And then, it was awesome. And then I ended up,
you've come quite a way since then.
Yeah, well, a little bit, man. I think that proposal, so I proposed on, some of you that don't know my story, I proposed on stage at, last year's Funnel Hacking Live, I believe, in front of 3,500, 4,000 people, and
2018. It was killer. Yeah, that was awesome. She had no clue. She's sitting on stage and got up there and she's like, "What's going on?"
Yeah, dude, I actually had no idea what was happening. So a little backstory. I didn't even have a ticket to Funnel Hacking Live. I couldn't afford a ticket to Funnel Hacking Live, and my fiance, or girlfriend at the time, she had a waitress just to get us tickets to get there. And then we were just going to hang out in the lobby and network and meet people, because I knew this was the community I wanted to be in. And so I ended up asking a few people if I could propose and maybe meet Russell or whatever. My idea was, we'd be in a back room and she'd be meeting him, and then I'd kneel down behind her and then propose. And then I talked to Dave Woodward, and then he said, "Would you want to do this on stage?" And I was like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, I'm game for that.
And then I was like, "Dave, I don't have a ticket." And he was like, "No, it's fine. We got you." I was like, "I don't have a ticket for her either." He was like, "It's fine. Just bring her up stage." And then, man, ClickFunnels paid for our tickets. And then I got on stage. And, man, I think it was that night I had 1,100 friend requests. And then that's just kind of how it all started.
That's crazy, man.
And then.
So I want to talk about one thing, though, as well, because you've struggled. That's a big step for you to be up on stage.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you kind of skipped it there, but you struggled with a lot of stuff personally as well.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So I had, I guess I had really bad PTSD. I like to say the word anxiety because, PTSD, I don't know. But I had really bad PTSD after I got out of the military, and anxiety. And then
anxiety, I think, helps people understand what you're dealing with. Because PTSD, the average person's post-traumatic stress disorder. I don't fully know how to process what that is. I think anxiety, that's a great way to say it because it just clarifies it.
Yeah. And so actually I'd spent a year locked in an apartment. I was actually living, it sounds weird to say, I was actually living underneath my friend's bed. He actually we went to Home Depot, he had a king size bed. We actually made bunk beds, a king size bed. So I stayed in there for a year. And I ended up getting bad agoraphobia. I got to the point where I couldn't even go into the kitchen.
What's
couldn't go into the bath.
Apologize.
So it's where you feel like your walls are closing in. So it got to the point where I couldn't go outside. I couldn't go outside at all. I couldn't drive a car. And then so I was just locked in an apartment, and then it kept getting smaller. Then I would have panic attacks if I went into the kitchen. it got to the point where I had to move the microwave and fridge next to the bed. I mean, I couldn't even. It got to a point where I couldn't even use the restroom without having a panic attack. I mean,
that's a good friend, though.
Yeah, it was bad. I mean, he ended up getting tired of me real fast, but yeah, he was good. He helped me out, but and that's kind of like why I like focus so much on mindset. You know, I was taking 14 medications and going to all the group therapies, and nothing was working. But it all started one day. Like, so I had to think about like what I want to do as a kid. I wanted to be an actor. So one day I just decided to wake up and I said, you know what? Today I'm going to be an actor, and I'm going to play the lead role in my own movie, and I'm somebody who does. And so that's what I did. And so every day, I bought a brand new truck, but I couldn't drive it. And so one day I grabbed the keys and I just sat down on the couch in the other room and I pictured myself driving the car. And then the next day I was able to get outside to the front door and look at the truck. The next day I was able to get inside the truck and I started it and I sat there. And then the next day I put it in drive and I said, I'm going to go around the block. And my heart was racing and I was sweating and all this stuff. And I mean, I don't even know how I didn't crash the truck driving it, but I said, you know what, I don't have anxiety. And so I didn't realize what I was doing to myself. And after acting every day, like I didn't have anxiety, eventually like my chemistry started changing and then I started feeling better and I was able to drive 2 blocks, 3 blocks. And then
very similar to like the NLP stuff, the neuro linguistic programming, where you kind of reprogram your brain and how it thinks, and you change your mindset completely from what can be a very negative situation in your case to like, dude, you're killing it now.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And like, it was crazy because I couldn't be in a room with 2 people. And then I got to the point where, I was throwing Guinness World Record events. I hosted the world's largest super soaker battle with 2,000 people, and then the world's largest dog day with 2,000 people. And then just started doing, you wouldn't guess, everybody said I was a totally different person, but it was all mindset. And then same whenever I got into ClickFunnels, when we met, you were giving me advice, and I'm pretty sure you pitched me, and I wanted to use your services, and I couldn't afford it. But now, this year I got the 2 Comma Club Award and all this stuff, and I mean, I used the same mindset stuff I did to get out of anxiety and PTSD, to get me out of my broke situation and into the 2 Comma Club. It was all the same thing.
Literally, it was just a day at a time. Just doing, what can I do today? What little things can I do today to make a difference and change where I'm at? And that's huge, man. It really is. I think it's something that people forget to do now a lot is we get caught in our, what's the word I'm looking for? The over processing or over educating. And we're just like, I got to learn. I need to know more. When like, there's a reason that if you just take one little step a day, like you did, start to do one thing a day that will move you towards your goal. And here you are, honestly, I mean, you're really just over 12 months later. Probably, I think you're about 14, 15 months from when we talk, maybe 18.
Yeah.
And here you are, you hit the 2 Comma Club, and now you're killing it. You've got some other stuff that we'll talk about later coming up. And that's awesome. So I want to talk a little bit about the different categories you have in your book.
Yeah.
Because I think this is going to bring a lot of value to people, because it's going to help, all 3 of these sections we're going to talk about, it's going to help people whether they are early on just starting a business, whether they have a business they're trying to scale, or whether they've had it or whether they going from just starting to scaling, and then have a business that they've been successful in, but really want to have growth. So I'm going to jump into that. So your first thing you're talking about in section is mindset. Yeah.
So I'm writing a book called Broke Ass Millionaires, and I got my 3 M's. I got mindset, marketing, movement. And what I've come to realize is to make your first $10,000 a month, all you got to do is focus on mindset to make your first $10,000 a month, and then $10,000 to $100,000 a month is marketing, and then $100,000 a month to $1 million plus is movement. And so that's why I think it's really important. Mindset is the first step for sure.
Now, when you talk about mindset being the first step, creating these the first 10K months that you could have, right? So what are people looking for? Like what? Because everyone says, my mindset. A lot of people struggle being self-aware, I guess is the way to say it. They struggle understanding this is my deficiencies in my mindset. So how do I look at where I'm at now? And how do I say, okay, this is what I need to focus on changing in my mindset, or these are the additions that I need to add to my day to change my mindset?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is exactly what I do with like everything I'm trying to do. Um, I wish I had a whiteboard. So I draw like this is where we're at now. This is where each of us are now, and we want to get to 10,000 a month. And so I reverse engineer everything. So with mindset, 10,000 a month. So I write down everything that's stopping me, everything that's stopping. This could be a wife, this could be a friend, this could be anything, whatever's stopping you. So reverse engineer everything. So the goal's 10,000 a month. Write down everything that's stopping you, and then everything you have going for you here. And then this is where you got to get rid of what's stopping you and go all in on your strengths. So this goes into self-aware, like my current business, you know, my mentor lab, and I know we'll get into it. Like I saw that I'm really good at marketing. I'm really good at building a movement. I'm really good at getting people amped up about stuff, but I suck at systems. I've got a massive email list, and I've never sent out a single email. You know, I'm self-aware of what I suck at, and so that's why I partner with somebody who's good at all that back-end stuff, good at, you know, just getting the funnels and the email sequences. So, and I didn't, after trying to do everything myself and not realizing, like, I wasn't self-aware, like you were saying. And once you become self-aware of what you suck at, then you can go find somebody to help you with that.
Now, what did you do early on, though? Because obviously we all start, everybody starts the same phases. We all start as like, you know, hey, I have to do it all. I have to be the one-man show. You know, whether you're in a marketing company, whether you're selling refrigerators, you just started out, you bought a franchise, whether you buy a McDonald's, whatever, you start out as I'm the manager, I'm the assistant manager, I'm like the one-man show of everything. So how do you start to remove your weaknesses in that?
Awesome. Okay, cool. So I would say, like, man, the one biggest thing that I was doing, I mean, with entrepreneurs, there's no playbook that says, okay, you know, the 10 commandments of entrepreneurship, the do this, do this, do this, do this.
10 commandments of entrepreneurship playbook. That's the next book we must write.
Yeah, you got it. We'll go half and half on that one.
That sounds like a plan.
Yeah. But man, dude, I would go to sleep every night with my laptop on my chest, trying to change the colors of my opt-in page and then the checkout button, and thinking that was it. And the moment I stopped caring about all the little details, I've got broken links everywhere. You go to my YouTube channel, I got broken links everywhere. Like it happened. The moment I stopped focusing on that stuff and just focused on my offer, that's it, man. Just focusing on the offer alone, that was it. Because I spent $6,000 with the anxiety book. I spent $6,000 on ads and had a beautiful funnel that looked just like Russell Brunson's. And I mean, everything was perfect. But not one sale came through because my offer sucked. The offer was not created right. And now if you look at my funnel, like I had James Smiley tell, you know, I got 50 people in my inner circle program now. And he was like, dude, your funnel sucks. An email follow-up. He said, you know, I buy your stuff and I don't even get an email. Like my offer is the only thing I have going for me right now. And that's all you need, dude. You need a good offer and everything else can suck. You know, you can just have a WordPress site if you wanted. I mean, but if you have a great offer, people will buy.
Yeah. I think that's a good point. It's about getting the first piece, the part that people connect with, right.
Yeah. So stop focusing on all these shiny objects and all these courses and coaches and all this stuff and trying to make your funnel look like this. I mean, just get your crappy funnel out there with a great offer, and I promise you'll get some sales. And
I love it.
And then once you get some sales, making your funnel look better, then reinvest in the ads and all that. I went backwards. And so that's the same thing with like the making the money. Everyone wants to make 2,000, like reverse engineer everything. So this is your offer, and then work backwards and then make everything else look good. So.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So now you're starting to get a business. You got your offer right. You're starting to kind of go through the process of generating revenue every month. How did you transition out of doing it all yourself to giving it to other people?
I think, so getting the offer right. So I had like at Funnel Hacking Live, this last Funnel Hacking Live, you know, I had a terrible, funnel and everything. So you got to get off the ground yourself, you know, because a lot of us can't afford to hire out. So that's why don't worry about all the other stuff. Just get a nice offer. And then say if you reach out to somebody like a mentor or someone you look up to in ClickFunnels or a 2 Comma Club member, just be like, people love giving advice. And, you know, you reach out to me and like I would help any of your audience for free. You know, if they send me like, hey, this is my offer. What do you think about this? And then I'll give you my 2 cents. Change your offer, and then you'll get some sales, and then use that leverage And that's what I did. So I launched my Inner Circle program at Funnel Hacking Live, and I had 20 people in it. And then I went to James Smiley. Yeah. And then I went to James Smiley, and I was like, dude, I got 20 people. I said, and I love giving advice, but I don't know how to manage this. And then he said, dude, this is what you should do. And then like we talked, and then said, why don't we partner up? Boom. And I ended up getting him to like stop doing all his other stuff, the program I had started. So I used that leverage. Nice. And now we went from 20 to 50 people in the past week. And then now I'm able to grow it. And our goal is, to have, we have 277 people. That's $1 million business. So
that's awesome. All right. Second M.
Yes. Marketing.
I was testing. Just make sure you know your own M.
My M&Ms.
All right. So once you've got a business, and we've talked a little bit, we've hit on it here a little bit as well, talking about it. But so once you've got your business, you're going from you've hit your $10,000 months. Now you want to scale from anywhere, like we talked about, $10,000 to $100,000 months is all about marketing.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yep.
Now explain.
So yeah, marketing. And this is where so I still don't run Facebook ads, and I still probably won't run Facebook ads, and I'm not knocking on it. I just know that I suck at it. But say I get someone awesome like you or whatever, and like if I find someone awesome that wants to do a Facebook ads, I'll do it. But guerrilla marketing is my focus. And this is really doing, so guerrilla marketing, the definition of guerrilla marketing is innovative and unconventional ways to promote a product or service. So pretty much what that translates with me is if you're broke and you can't afford Facebook ads, figure out other ways to do it. And so I've always been broke whenever I'm marketing my stuff. So like my Super Soaker battle, I only had, I think less than $100 to market the world's largest Super Soaker battle.
And how big was that, by the way?
2,000 people.
So you had 2,000 people show up for a Super Soaker. Was it like just two teams, or every man for himself, or what?
It was an all out free for all. And like, man, I had all these like games and stuff. So I took a football field and put pools, 3 pools on each side, and then I just had a DJ turn on some music. You got to bring your own Super Soaker battle. Everyone paid me $10 to come in, and man, it was incredible. But anyway, so I launched it on Facebook, and then, I had 10,000 people on the page overnight, and then 30,000 people. And then I started getting calls from Hasbro, Nestle, General Motors, Vita Coco, Subaru. Really? They all sponsored me. And I was living on my grandmother's couch when I launched the event. And then,
that's wild.
It was insane. But what I did was there was a big Nerf battle at the Dallas Cowboys Stadium. There were 3,000 people. So what I did, so this is good marketing. So I went car, nothing. I went to Maserati dealership, and I said, look, if you give me a car for 2 hours, I'll make a YouTube video, and then, I'll get at least 2,000 views, and I'll put Park Place Maserati at the end of the video. And so they did. They gave me a car, and then I went and found 2 police officers, and I gave them $40 each. And I said, will you escort me into this stadium? And so I had a Maserati, and I had police escorts, and then they took me in, and there were 3,000 people outside the stadium. And I got out with a Sharpie, and I had a couple friends in the crowd like, oh my God, it's Kolton. And I got out and I started signing autographs, and everybody went crazy. I signed, everybody. Then I made a YouTube video, how to be a celebrity for a day. And on these cards that I was autographing, the back was information on my Super Soaker battle. And so 1,200 people, 1,500 autographs I gave out. And so the next day, and so that's when I launched my Super Soaker battle, and then 10,000 people on it the next day, and then 30,000 people, and I never spent a dime on ads, and I didn't have a sales funnel.
Literally, the only money you had was the cards that you were signing, the $40 each that you paid to the cops.
Yep, that was it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. So did you do the same thing then for the dog day?
Yeah, well, the dog day, I didn't have ad spend then either. I put it on Groupon, and Groupon, they took, a cut of it. So I raised the price to $20 a ticket. They took 10, gave me 10 per ticket. And then it started just kind of growing from there. What's that?
Wow. Yeah, Jeff's fired up. Oh, we lost Kolton. Hold on. Give me just a second, guys. That was his, I think his internet dropped. Hold on. And you're back. There we go.
Awesome. Man, I look
Hey,
out
that's
for
still
deals.
pretty solid though for a hotspot off your cell phone. If that's the only drop we've had so far, we're good. Go ahead, man. My mentor labs.
Yeah, so I mean, and this is so I'm able to find a limousine. So I don't know if you saw, I got a limo, right?
I saw the wife's caddy and your caddy.
So I got a limo, and this is a massive marketing tool for me. And so I'll be doing live streams and all this. So the ROI on this, so I bought this limo. Let's just say less than $10,000, right? That I'm able to get a limo, and then the marketing, I've already made the 10,000 back from doing 2 videos in there saying, sign up for my course or my coaching program. So just doing really weird and unconventional stuff. My boat that everybody wants to come, out to a mastermind on my boat. I paid $1,000 for my boat. You know what I mean?
So like just doing that was cool.
Yeah. I mean, that was $1,000 boat. I got the boat for $1,000. And so like, just doing really weird stuff that nobody else is doing. Like I'm seeing all these other, I can't compete with these marketers that have, millions of dollars, and neither can most of us. So we just have to think outside the box. But you got to think, nobody's doing masterminds on boats. Nobody has a limo. And then you could do any other sort of stuff. Just crash events and make a YouTube video out of it. And then that's a way to market your stuff. Another really good thing that most people can use, because they're like, oh, I can't get a limo, I can't do a boat, I can't do a Super Soaker battle. You go to GuinnessWorldRecords.com, and you can find a record you could break. And then you could do it in the name of your business, and then say you're donating to charity. Then you call the news agency. So then you got free PR, you got social proof, you got marketing, and you got branding, all from breaking a world record. And it's free to break a world record.
And so you literally just look on there and figure out which one you can break.
Yep.
That's crazy, man. That's such a good idea, though.
Absolutely. They're super easy to break. And nobody, when I say, look, I'm going to break a world record, I'm going to donate a portion of the proceeds to charity. If you come out, I'll give you the exclusive story. Then I call Channel 5, I say the same thing, Channel 7, 8, 11, and then they all end up coming out there, and they don't care. And so
they don't care that there's more. They all just want the story for their news. Yeah, they don't care.
Yeah, so it's great. So I'm actually getting ready. My next world record I'm going to break is the world's largest game at Connect 4. So it's just 200 people. And so all I got to do is drop a Facebook status in a couple local groups and say, hey, we're going to have a free Connect 4 tournament. Come out. We're going to donate a portion of proceeds to charity. And so I'll have, a couple hundred people there. I'll have news coverage. And then I'll say it's sponsored by mymentorlab.com. And all the money that comes in from that event, I'll donate to a charity. And that's what gets me all the PR and stuff like that. And then this is just branding for my mentor lab. And that's free, man. It's free to do that. Any of y'all could do this.
So this is where you're talking about like going from 10K to 100K. It literally is just about yes, it can be about paid ads, but that's not what we're talking about here. I mean, it's very easy to do paid ads, and there's certain people. I mean, I've done a lot of that for clients. But there's certain ways that you can do that. But on the flip side, when you said, like you said, I'm not an ad specialist. So you said, how do I go from my 10K to 100K months using marketing? Well, I'm not going to use paid ads. I'm going to use guerrilla marketing.
Absolutely. And the thing is, I won't get customers from that. I'm not going to have people sign up for my coaching program that come to the Connect 4 thing. But whenever I put that all on Facebook and say, we brought hundreds of people together and I got the social proof and, my testimonials on the website. Yeah, it's huge.
You're trading in attention. That's what it is.
Yes.
You're trading in eyeballs and attention, and the eyeballs and the attention is what will eventually long-term lead to the business growth. Yeah. So number 3, the third M, a movement.
Movement.
Creating a movement, getting from that 100K month and going from there and getting beyond obviously takes more than just, it takes something that you can scale is really what it comes down to. Yes,
absolutely. You got to have a scalable model. And that's what we're doing with my mentor lab. But this is where you got to get the people wearing this is a movement right here. Like with ClickFunnels, wearing their t-shirts every day. They've started a movement. And
my wife really began to hate those t-shirts because I have too many of them.
Same here.
You put another one on today. We're going over to the family's house. If you put one more t-shirt on that says ClickFunnels or Funnel Hacker, I'm going to shred them all. So I had to
same here, man. Same here. But man, that's where you get people that believe in your vision. This is where you have people, giving awards out to your top contributors, and then they change their profile. Like my profile picture, I think, is me with a 2 Comma Club award, right? So that's a movement. And so say like if if you're doing 100K, a month or whatever, you can start giving your coaching students awards and then have them start posting that picture. That's how you create a movement. And it's really getting people to believe in your vision and where they feel like they're a part of it.
Well, I think that's the key is you want them to feel like it's a family. You want them to feel like, I mean, obviously you don't know every little detail about everybody involved, but you want everybody to know like, look, we're all in this together. We're all here to help. We're all here to succeed. We celebrate everyone else's success and we embrace and try to help when someone else fails.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is where it becomes less about the entrepreneur. So for me to create a movement, it's not going to be about Kolton. It's not the Kolton movement. It's now the family, the community, the camaraderie. The my mentor lab. Community. It becomes less about the entrepreneur and more about, I guess, the movement you're creating, what you're doing. So the impact.
Now, what do you see as the biggest challenge to doing that? How is it? Because I think it's really hard. Maybe this will help a little bit. I think it's challenging and difficult to step out of being. When you're in the marketing phase, you are self-promoting.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you are promoting yourself. You're promoting like we just talked about. It's all for eyeballs. So how do you make that transition from, you're trading on attention, trading on eyeballs for your personal brand into creating more of the community? I know you mentioned awards and some other stuff, but is there a mindset shift as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is where, and this is it's going to sound, I think it's hard. Most people can't ever move from that marketing to movement because it's so hard. To get to the marketing, you've got to focus on the money. You've got to have a profitable business in order to get there. But I think to go from marketing to movement, it sounds crazy, but this is where you got to stop focusing on the money. And I think people can see that whenever you stop focusing on the money and just create something bigger than yourself, then that's when you can create a movement.
Well, and I think that also leads to where people want to have a business with purpose.
Yes, absolutely.
And it's something I've heard Steve Larson say this, and I know we love Steve. But Steve says all the time, change your life before you change someone else's life. You can't be dead broke. I mean, and you're a testament to this. You went through and you're like, I had to fix myself and my issues first. And now I can go ahead and I can begin to create a movement that's going to shift and change other people's lives and make their lives better. And then eventually, you want to be able to leave that lasting impact. I think that's a huge point that people miss.
Absolutely. Yeah. You gotta get out there and make some money and then just be able to take care of you and your family and just at least get to the point where you're not worrying about the bills coming on the 1st of every month. And then you can start focusing on other people. Because Russell talked about it this last funnel hacking live, man. Whenever I was super broke, dude, I pick up my phone and nobody wanted to answer the phone. Whenever I was homeless and I was just looking for, nobody wanted to give me a couch, to stay on for a night. Nobody was there to help me. And now, I've got everybody just coming out of the woodworks, right? And then once you get to a certain point, now everybody wants to help you whenever you're doing good or whenever you have an audience. But man, whenever you're struggling, those are the hardest times of your life because no one really wants to help you.
Well, it's you were talking about. You had the eyeballs when you proposed on the stage in 2018 on FHL, and the next thing you do, you have 1,200 friend requests on Facebook, and you're like, what's going on here?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's crazy, but that's just how the world works, man.
I agree. All right, so I want to give you time before we head off here. I want to give you time to talk about what you got going on right now. My Mentor Lab. Yeah,
absolutely. So this is another Guerrilla marketing strategy. You got to create something that's disruptive. I don't compete with nobody. I have no competitors, and you
don't even look at them.
No,
you just do what you want to do and say, this is what I'm doing.
Yeah, the best competition is no competition. I think people are buying courses, right? A lot of people they buy courses typically because they can't afford the actual coaching, right? So it's okay, if I got $1,000, I'll buy a course. I don't have $10,000 to pay for the coaching, so I got to buy the course. There's no gap here, and courses are great. I'm not knocking courses. I get a ton of value from courses, but there's still that missing piece that not a lot of people talk about.
There's the missing coaching piece that you want to be able to have to implement what you're learning.
Yeah, a little bit of coaching with that course would 10x it. Right. That's what my Mentor Lab, where we're trying to disrupt. And we have been, man. We've been pissing off a lot of coaches because we're driving the prices way down. So my mentor lab, we're charging $297 a month, and this is 100 coaching calls a year, and then also every month you get a new course, and we're going through the course and all this stuff, and then also our community and all that stuff.
Right.
So but yeah, we launched it I guess 2 weeks ago, and I mean, man, we got 50 people in the program, and now we actually stopped it. Now we got we're gonna open it back up, I guess in a month or two. But man, we closed it, put up a waiting list, and then we had I think about 50 people sign up on the waiting list as well when we shut it down. But
all right, so here's the question
it's
for you.
been awesome.
How are you going to handle the scale?
So scale. So this is going to be coaching calls. So like originally, like I was doing Vox. Yeah. So this is just coaching calls. And so as we grow, I'm going to bring in like more coaches, kind of like, like the 2 Comma Club X coaching program.
Yeah.
Like I'll bring in new people, like, someone like, if somebody has a question about Facebook ads, I might reach out to you and say, hey, would you want to like come to my community and help, my community of Facebook ads, or your advice on this, because I don't know how to do it. So as we scale, we'll bring in more coaches that are helping on these live calls. So
nice. Awesome, man. So what do you have in the works plan wise for courses, or are you going to give that away?
Yeah. So I guess the first 4 courses are James Smiley. So James Smiley, he's got.
Oh, I got to connect with James. I've never actually met and had a conversation with James.
Oh man,
and everybody keeps talking super highly about him.
Dude, he is. Yeah, I mean, so you remember Boost Mobile? Where you at?
Yeah.
So he was in the room with 9 other people when they came up with that. So he helped start Boost Mobile, and then they took that to 20 million. He took 2 companies from 0 to 20 million, IPO'd them, and all this stuff. And then he does a lot of stuff with Rachel Peterson, Steve Larson. Like, so he does events with Steve Larson, and so they're really good friends. I mean, he's been someone I've looked up to for a long time, and then I was lucky enough to get him to partner with me. So it was great.
Hey, awesome. So you were saying, so the courses, you're saying you're launching with some of James' courses?
Yeah. So these are actually the 5 courses I like legitimately. He has got 5 courses he sells for $2,000 a piece, like a 7-figure mastermind. I don't remember the names of them, but these are courses that I couldn't afford. But so every month that somebody's a member paying $297, they get access to his course. They get a new course every month. So every month we're rolling out a new course in addition to the coaching, and so. It's just, man, it's a no-brainer. Like we've been laughing when we're trying to sell it. Like, cause I'm like, dude, I don't even need to really push this. And I don't need to sell it. I don't care. Like, I mean, this is something that I wish that I created, something that I wish that I had whenever I was super broke. And
and you're a good dude. And I don't know James personally, but I know the people that you're talking about, he works with, and they're all highly reputable. So when you get people like Rachel Peterson, you and Steve Larson vouching for him, that speaks very highly of James as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And this goes back to the offer, like, and we'll just tie it back to the very beginning when we talk about, like, I created a really good offer. And so that's why this program is super successful. The funnel sucks. If you look at the funnel, it sucks still. It's terrible. But man, the offer is on point. And so everyone out there, like, if you have a business, man, just focus on your offer. And one thing that I like to do with brainstorming is on a Friday night, invite your friends, family, and then also some business people, non-business, just invite people over and say, hey, I want to host you, cook up some steaks, throw some stuff on the grill, get some cold beer, whatever, and just get some paper out, some crayons, markers, Sharpies, and brainstorm. In the middle of it, put $10,000 a month or whatever your goal is, and then have them help you. The power of brainstorming is incredible. And then say,
it's a good point. Family and friends can see things when you're talking about that initial stage of being self-aware. Family and friends see things that you don't see.
Absolutely.
Good and bad both.
Yeah.
Because there's times that we overlook stuff, and there's times that we're just super hard on ourselves, and we're like, "Oh man, I'm missing your family." Like, no, actually, you do a pretty good job at this. You're just a kind of a perfectionist.
Yes, absolutely, man. It's incredible. So the power of brainstorming. So like everything I do, like, that I might be the face of, like, it might be like, oh, Kolton, you're doing great. No, there's so many people behind the scenes helping me, to where it's not me, man. It's a bunch of people, and it's awesome.
Awesome, man. Well, I appreciate your time, dude. So help me out here. Where can people find you online? Obviously, they can find you on Facebook here if they're looking. Just look up Kolton G. Krottinger. Instagram.
Yep, Kolton Krottinger. Same thing, Kolton Krottinger. But on Facebook, you type in KOLT, I'll be the first one that shows up. That's pretty
awesome. Well, guys, I appreciate your time. Kolton, thank you. Thank you, everybody that's tuned in. Again, this is episode 6, Trent Talks. Find him on Instagram, Kolton Krottinger. I'm Real Trent Evans on Instagram. And Kolton, thanks again for being here. And until next time, guys, peace out. I really hope you enjoyed and got a lot of value in this video. If you did, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment below. I'm going to be answering all the comments myself. And also, come find me on your favorite social media platform and tell me what else I can help you with.